Well, a local author and attorney has written her debut novel called Hereafter with HarperCollins Publishers. The mystery, ghost, and teen romance story is set in Oklahoma, where the author grew up. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, Tara, you obviously are an attorney. We're going to get that in a little bit, but tell us first about the book.
All right, well, the book is a young adult novel. It's, a ragingly popular subgenre right now. When you go to Target, there's an entire row of just these books. And my book, Hereafter, is set in southeastern Oklahoma, and the protagonist is a girl named Amelia. She's an 18-year-old girl, and she knows three things. She knows her name, she knows her age, and she knows she's dead. She's continually reliving her death, drowning. And one day she sees someone about to suffer the same fate, and she decides to stop that death. And so the book sort of follows the consequences of that decision.
Interesting. Wow, that sounds very interesting. I don't think it's just young adult. I would like to read it.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to write the book?
Well, I've been a writer my whole life, and I've always loved writing, especially fiction. And when I was a kid, my grandparents used to take me on these trips to sort of, inspire those creative juices. And they lived in southeastern Oklahoma at the time, and they took me to this really weird place that's in the mountains, sort of an overgrown clearing surrounded by this iron fence and full of all these broken headstones. It was super creepy. And I found out later that it was my family cemetery. And so that image has stuck with me for so many years. And a couple years ago, I was sitting there thinking about it and wondering, what would it be like to be there at night? How eerie would that be? And so the person in my head that was there at night was Amelia, my protagonist.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's where the story was born.
That's so neat. Okay, so how does one go from being a lawyer to an author? How does that happen?
It's a really odd transition. Actually, what's funny is I think a lot of lawyers do it because so much of legal work is reading and writing. And what's really funny is I wrote in college. My major in college was English writing, and then I went to law school.
Obviously, this book has been a hit from what I understand. This is your first novel.
Yeah,
and
doing
you've already,
really well.
Yeah, you've gotten some good, just feedback from across the nation.
Yeah, we're its rankings on Amazon are doing really well.
If people are interested in buying the book, they can go to Amazon. Where else?
They can go everywhere, actually. Barnes & Noble, Borders carries it. Full Circle still has copies. They reordered, so they're well stocked. There's also Target and Walmart.
That's great. So do you think there will be another novel?
Actually, yes. HarperCollins bought a trilogy. Wow. So there will be 2 sequels to Hereafter, and I just finished the second sequel, which is entitled Arise.
Wow.
And I'm working on edits for it right now.
How neat. Well, so if people want more information and just to follow you, what's your website?
My website is www.tarahudson.com. I'm also on Facebook. Hereafter has a fan page.
Nice.
And I'm on Twitter as T. Hudson Writes.
Perfect. How exciting. Obviously, a great story, personal story of being a lawyer and an author. And then it sounds like an interesting novel.
Well, thank you.
This is great.
I hope lots of people love it.
I know it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.